Well, thank you, Harry. Even a generation on, Manchester United's first trip to Galatasaray remains enshrined in the memory. One of the most famed of the club's European ties in the 90s. A fervent atmosphere of the old ground, supplemented by the infamous Welcome to Hell signs. An extraordinary night that culminated in United's exit from the competition. 30 years on, almost to the week, the latest return. The new Ali Sami Yen, a very different stadium, a very different experience, but United find themselves once more staring at elimination. Defeat tonight and they're out of the Champions League. Even a draw could conceivably see them out by the end of the night. Bottom of the group with 2 games to go is a bleak scenario, and it's due in part to the 3-2 defeat to Galatasaray at Old Trafford in a game that they twice led. Now that was a landmark victory for Galatasaray, but United's domestic form is significantly better than it was back then. Ten Hag's side have to perform better tonight than they did in that match, or Galatasaray away could be memorable for all the wrong reasons again. 2 sets of players just in the tunnel, waiting to come out onto the pitch. Delighted that there is a game to be played. It was under a big element of doubt earlier because of the very inclement weather in Istanbul. The stadium out in the suburbs, about a 25-minute taxi ride from the centre of town, and getting to the stadium was extremely difficult. That was one of the major concerns, as was the playing surface. There's no sign of the rain abating, nor any forecast that it will abate at any stage before the end of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how the players cope with it. It will also be interesting to see how the officials, both on the field and the VAR, copes with these inclement conditions and exactly how much is going to be taken into account. So the state of the group at the moment, Bayern top. They've already won the group with 12 points. Copenhagen have 4, Galatasaray 4, and Manchester United 3. 2 games left. This one tonight, Bayern Munich at home. No margin for error.
No margin for error at all, Jim. This is what it has now come down to. They've allowed leads to slip in previous matches, which now brings them to this point where they're coming into a real cauldron here. This is a tough place to go and play against a team that will be expected to really get at and test Manchester United. So they're going to need to be resilient, they're going to need to be together, and they've got to obviously pack a bit of a punch themselves. Not an easy time.
And a draw's not good enough for them for a multitude of reasons, not only the points, but they need to be in a position that they can get a head-to-head advantage above Galatasaray, which, having lost the home game, means that they have to win this. There's a difference between a win and a draw here. Could well be the difference between going through and not going through. So how do they approach it, bearing in mind it is effectively a must-win tonight?
I'm expecting Galatasaray to start fast, start hard, and United have got to repel and as I mentioned, they've got to make sure they're resilient in that respect. Champions League football, Jim, you and I, we've done many of these matches. They come down to often come down to fine margins, and a team that takes a moment to change the course of the match. That might be a chance. It might look at Alexander Isak last night for Newcastle in Paris. He gets a chance, he puts them in front, and they were seconds away. And they were robbed anyway, Newcastle, but seconds away from a massive victory. But it's always dramatic. These games are often leave us talking and leave us scratching our heads at what we've just witnessed. And let's hope tonight, if it's one of those, United come out on the right side of it.
And one man who will always feel that he's got a point to prove against Manchester United is Wilf Zaha. He's got a very good goal-scoring record latterly against United. 4 goals in his last 5 games against them, including his first ever Champions League goal when the 2 sides met at Old Trafford. And only 4 appearances for United after his initial departure from Palace back in 2013. And he would love to be a contributory factor in United's demise tonight. Now here's a reminder of how the 2 teams line up. Galatasaray, Muslera in goal, who's just undergoing the touch of the corner with Bruno Fernandes right now. Boe, Bonacha, Kalahan, who played in midfield at Old Trafford but is playing at centre-half again tonight. Angelino playing at left-back. Lucas Torreira alongside Ndombele. Then Ziyech on the right, Zaha on the left. And the old Belgian warhorse Dries Mertens in support of Mauro Icardi's got 16 goals in his 21 games this season, and he leads the line. Manchester United and Nana in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Shaw, then Amrabat, McTominay and Bruno Fernandes ahead of him in central midfield, Anthony and Garnacho wide, and Højlund up front. The United bench, Dalot, Varane, Reguilon and Gore, Ledbury, Menu, Pellistri, Hugill and Martial, Heaton and Altay are the substitute goalkeepers. No Marcus Rashford, as you're aware, because of suspension after the red card that he picked up in the last Champions League game. United in white shirts and red shorts, and Galatasaray in their famed orange and crimson halved shirts and white shorts. Referee tonight is Jose Maria Sanchez from Spain. He gets us underway, the penultimate game in Manchester United's Champions League group campaign, and it's one that they have to win. Feeling from right to left in this first half as we look at it. A wonderful, vibrant atmosphere, always guaranteed on any trip to Istanbul. Fans doing their bit to Edo Van Buren and his side's cause. Ball play down towards Boe, the French right back with the dreadlocks. Flick down towards Hakim Ziyech, who Ten Hag knows so well from their days at Ajax together. Little back heel flick inside the United penalty area was well intentioned but clear. A good start from Galatasaray on the front foot. And a chance for Baracha to play that towards the fullback Angelino. Now Baracha gets it back again. Certainly the game plan from Galatasaray in the first minute, Andy Townsend, appears to be take the game to Manchester United and see what they can stand. Yeah,
noise level's incredible inside the stadium. They want to keep that there, keep them involved and keep them bouncing up and down as they all are to a man, woman and child right now at the start of this game. So yeah, I'm expecting Galatasaray to have the better of it in these opening exchanges, but United, what they've got to do when they get the chance to turn the ball over, can they get it wide to Garnacho and Anthony? Can they frighten Galatasaray, drag them back 10 yards?
Now United with a throw, taken quickly by Wan-Bissaka. And it's a good run by Scott McTominay. Lucas Torreira has gone with him. And McTominay playing it back towards Anthony. I think you will always be able to sense when United are in possession and when they're not by the sound from the crowd. Anthony getting it forward. And the noise of the crowd changes. Just betrays the fact that Galatasaray have got it away. Now they'll try and release Icardi towards the edge of the penalty area. Shaw went with him, but it's played in towards Ziyech, whose shot is blocked behind and goes out of play for the first corner of the day. 0-0.
Tell you what, it's great play from Wilfried Zaha. Received the ball just short of the halfway line, couple of step overs, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka wasn't sure which way to go, how to deal with it. He then released Mauro Icardi right through the middle, who in turn finds Hakim Ziyech. Steps a couple of yards into the 18-yard box, Luke Shaw across to smother it.
So this first corner, and it's going to be taken on the Galatasaray left. Ziyech raises his right arm above his head. It's a left-footed away swinger, flicked in towards the near post. Lucas Torreira got a diving head on it, and it flies over the bar. And out of play for a goal kick. Played 2.5 minutes here on TalkSport 2. Galatasaray 0, Manchester United 0. Just a reminder, another reminder, and make no excuses for the fact that over the course of the night we'll be keeping you abreast with all the mathematical ramifications. But if this ends as a draw, United could be out tonight if Copenhagen beat Bayern Munich. Nobody's necessarily expecting that will be the case, but Manchester United know that their fate will be well and truly out of their own hands if they don't win this game tonight.
When we first looked at the state of the pitch, Jim, we were concerned about whether there was going to be ball was going to be able to roll. Thankfully, say that as the game is underway, that surface water has dissipated, it has disappeared, and that the ball appears to be running true and running well.
Pitch more pop mark on my 14-year-old face though, Andy, it has to be said, with black spots all around it. Onana diving to his left-hand side saves a shot that was probably going off target anyway from Dries Mertens from distance. And then Onana bowls it out and United will get it forward quickly, but don't get it towards halfway. Lucas Torreira sticking his foot in. They'll try and play round Amrabat. Ziyech has done that very neatly. Now a left-footed ball scooped over the top, too heavy for Zaha or Icardi. And out comes Onana and he can comfortably play. But the situation in the group is pretty bleak. Just imagine how bad it would have been had Onana not saved that penalty from Larsen in the 6 minute of stoppage time when United were at home to Copenhagen. But it has been a group in which United have consistently blown leads. Here's Garnacho. Ball inside the penalty area from him, taking the deflection, and then somehow ends up going wide. Højlund trying to make the run across the defender, Bardakcha. There's a good ball in from Garnacho. Højlund couldn't quite get the contact that he needed. Scooped it with his left foot, and then flicked it with his right when he was on the ground, but couldn't get any purchase on it really, and he goes wide, out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, really good play from Garnacho. Did exactly the right thing, picked the ball up in that wide left position, cut in into the 18-yard box, then dipped again to the byline, squared it across the 6-yard box. Højlund very close to applying the finishing touch there. That's good play from United.
You got tired of seeing his goal from the weekend yet?
Oh, what a goal, Jim. What a strike. Listen, I mean, the scary part for that young man is he's such a young boy, and yet I doubt he's ever going to score anything like that ever again. But he'd be thrilled with a tap in tonight. If he can get one at the back post and he's 3 or 4 yards out and he rolls one in, that's brilliant.
Just 19, Alejandro Garnacho, goal for the ages. Galatasaray make their way forward down the left-hand side of the area. Angelino trying to cut the ball across. There's a double ricochet and it came off him and goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Andre Onana. So United coming into this on the back of 6 wins in 9 and 4 wins in the last 5 away games. Much better form. Things have tightened up defensively as well, with clean sheets in the last 2 games. Galatasaray actually at the moment in their worst run of form in the season. Back-to-back defeats in this competition against Bayern Munich. 2 defeats in the last 3 games in all competitions, including the one loss that they've had in the league so far. One of only 2 games in which they've dropped points, and they're still not top of the Turkish Superliga at the moment, just behind Fenerbahce. Amrabat's got it for United. It's 0-0, 6 minutes gone here on TalkSport 2. We'll also keep you up to date with everything that's going on in Spain between Sevilla and PSV, which has big ramifications as far as Arsenal are concerned tonight. Arsenal are home to Lens later, but they'll be through before a ball is kicked if Sevilla can beat PSV in that game. So we'll keep you updated. It is goalless though, with 8 gone. They're a couple of minutes ahead of us in that game in southern Spain tonight. This one 6.5 minutes in is 0-0. Bardakcha, the bearded, ponytailed centre-half, gets the ball away. Out of play for another Manchester United throw, taken quickly. Wan-Bissaka back towards Maguire. Maguire showing for the return ball. McTominay helps it round the corner, and then it took a slightly heavy touch off Maguire, and then another which worked in his favour, and Anthony is able to gallivant forward now down the right-hand side for United, in towards Bruno Fernandes, and his touch was poor and just gave Bowen the opportunity to knock it away. Ziyech is stopped on the counter-attack by the retreating Luke Shaw, but a better touch from Bruno there, and might have been able to play Garnacho.
Yeah, Anthony did really well. Received the ball on the right side and skipped past Angelino, cut in, and then eventually found Bruno Fernandes about 30 yards out, and he had the man on the overlap to his left. He had Garnacho there, but he just couldn't find him.
There's Bruno again, just losing out and imploring the referee to give him a free kick, which he does. It's a free kick for United. Will take the ball almost on the whitewash of the centre circle, just in Galatasaray territory. 7.5 minutes gone. 0-0 between Galatasaray and United. So the group as things stand at the moment, Bayern with 12, Galatasaray with 5 from 5, United with 4 from 5, Copenhagen with 4 from 4. Bruno Fernandes swings the free kick forward to the point of the penalty area. Maguire heads it down. It's recycled back towards Amrabat, who takes a few hasty steps backwards towards halfway. Short then to Garnacho, who tried to turn and roll the ball away from Bowen, but he ran out of room, and it goes out for a throw that will be taken on the Galatasaray run.
Yeah, well, we're approaching 9 minutes, and United have now had enough of the ball to settle down. They'll be absolutely delighted that the pitch is pretty reliable. Obviously it's been very wet, it's been incredible rain in Istanbul most of the day, but the pitch is playing well and they've now settled down reasonably well.
Garnacho's given the free kick away for a foul on Bowen. As the free kick is taken back for Muslera. Muslera, who's in the Galatasaray side that beat United 11 years ago. That was near the start of his career in Istanbul. He's played just short of 480 games for the club. And has been a linchpin of the Galatasaray side and their success over the last decade or so. They haven't been constant members of the Champions League fraternity though in that time. This is their first time in the group in the last 4 years. It's 10 years since they made it out of the group. Bowe's got it. Plays it through to Lucas Torreira. He'll go back to his goalkeeper. Now play forward towards Badacha. Badacha's playing on the left of the two centre-halves. Carnahan to his right. There's been a lot of conjecture there'd be the other way round, but it's Badacha that's on the left. Bowe has it now, controlling the ball neatly on the halfway line and finding Lucas Torreira with his bleach blonde hair. Back from him to Ayhan. And he'll go back to his goalkeeper again. And then Muslera just side foots it out, and it's very patient from Galatasaray as we reach the 10-minute mark. Now they mix it up with a long ball forward, but Zaha chasing. Knows very well that Wan-Bissaka is quick. The two former Palace teammates in direct confrontation there. And Wan-Bissaka had his measure as he chased the long ball forward. Anana was there to pick it up, and he will try and play it out from the back very quickly. He's found McTominay. Now he goes out towards Anthony. Anthony just letting the ball run down towards the touchline before stabbing it forward. McTominay continued his run. Anthony's got good movement ahead of him from Wan-Bissaka. He's come back inside instead to find Bruno Fernandes. In towards Højlund. Back for Bruno again. Now Garnacho. Left-hand side of the area. Thrashes it into the roof of the net. What a week he is having. Alejandro Garnacho gives Manchester United the lead. Not nearly as spectacular as the goal at Goodison Park, but infinitely more important.
Stunning goal. Brilliant football from United that. Again, got to say, Anthony has looked very sharp in these opening exchanges. The ball came to him on the right-hand side, some good link-up play, and eventually they found Højlund, who popped it back to Bruno Fernandes, who just toe-poked it left towards Alejandro Garnacho, who ends up getting that one out of his feet onto his left foot from the corner of the 6-yard box and hits it right into the roof of the net, leaving Muslera absolutely no chance. It's a brilliant goal.
It's his first ever Champions League goal, only his second start in the competition. The way that he fired it into the net, and the goalkeeper just leaning back as it went past him into the roof of the net, reminiscent actually of the finish, the last part of Ryan Giggs' goal, the famous one in the FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal when he beat David Seaman. Now it ended in a one-goal Manchester United victory. What they would give for that to be the only goal of the game tonight.
The referee's just having a word here, Jimmy. Bruno Fernandes. I'm not sure what it's about, whether something's been said or something to do maybe with the celebration, perhaps. I don't know. Was he not happy with the celebration of Garnacho?
I think that was probably the case. There were things being thrown onto the pitch as well. I don't know whether Bruno was referencing that, but certainly after he'd been in consultation with the referee, Bruno went over and had a word with Garnacho as if to say, okay, right, it's a good goal, but just needs to calm things down. The bottom line is, 12 minutes in, it's Galatasaray 0, Manchester United 1 here on TalkSport 2. We referenced earlier that they've lost more leagues than Barbara Woodhouse in this competition so far this season. They've got to make sure they don't let another one slip here. They led 1-0 and 2-1 at home to Galatasaray. They led 2-0 in Copenhagen and lost. They've got to make sure that they show the defensive solidity this time around, now that they've been given this fantastic platform for success by Alejandro Garnacho. And they sit second in the group as things stand right now with 6 points from their 5 games. Mertens down towards Ziyech. Ziyech fires it forward. Bowe will chase after it. 2 United players attacking the same ball. Amrabat starting it over the line, almost took Garnacho out in the process of clearing it, but it's gone out for a corner which will be taken on the Galatasaray right.
Yeah, good play actually from Amrabat there. Came from that central midfield position to chase that ball down the line. Bowe, the right back, was chasing it, but they got there first, but it is the Galatasaray corner.
Mertens is going to take it, puts his right hand above his head in towards the corner of the 6-yard box where it very nearly got the flick from McCartney that he wanted. Then it's headed by Ziyech back down towards the corner flag. Mertens got himself back onside. And he's won another corner very cleverly, just flicking it into Bruno. So third corner of these early stages. Third corner without reply, but it's Manchester United that lead after another moment of magic from Alejandro Garnacho. Mertens with the ball in, another with a good save, then it's blocked on the line for the second one. Another shot comes in, that one is blocked and cleared. Big appeals for a handball. United thrash it to safety, but the VAR is going to be having a look at this.
Yeah, and as you would imagine, all the Galatasaray players are crowding around the referee. They didn't have a man in front. It's Lucas Torreira that got his head, and eventually it comes back. Was there a handball there involving Scott McTominay? Right there, there is. Do you know what? I think this one will be given. I do. It's just hit him just short of the bicep. Referee's just holding this corner. He's just waiting to hear, but Scott McTominay may end up here. He didn't actually offer his arm up in the air to the ball, Jim, but it's whether he moved it slightly outside of the line of his body, whether they feel, referee looks like no handball.
Well, play will restart with a throw, and that is the indication that is given to the Galatasaray players. And I must admit, I'm really surprised, because you condition yourself, I think, these days in Europe to expecting that if the ball hits the arm, it is going to be a penalty, irrespective of circumstance.
Well, our Livramento's one last night is a pen, and what we've just seen isn't that the mind boggles a little bit with that. However, I'm delighted to say that certainly no intent from, of course, but that doesn't matter anymore. And McTominay did strike his arm. It was banging around in the box, popping around at a rate of knots, the ball there. He didn't know much about it, but they just about got away with that, United.
I certainly don't think it should have been a penalty, irrespective of which penalty area it was in. I don't believe, as a football fan, that is a handball and should constitute a penalty kick. And as for last night's, well, that was on a different sphere.
It was, wasn't it? Altogether, yeah, you're right.
Ball played in from the resulting deep-lying Galatasaray free kick, flicked on straight into the hands of Onana, but just in the seconds immediately prior to the potential penalty incident, as Onana has tried to clear and made a mess of it, then is able to gather the ball at the feet of Icardi inside his own penalty area. That was a nervy moment, playing out from the back, got it all wrong, gets away with it. He just tried a sidewinder and it hit Torreira 20 yards outside the box.
He's got the ball in his hands. It's a drop kick. He's trying to hit it flat, as you say, and he ducks it into the floor. And he's fortunate there, Onana, that he's able to recover and get his hands on that before Icardi gets it.
Just a time, really, as much as is possible in the cauldron-like atmosphere at the stadium that the Galatasaray supporters still refer to as the Ali Sami Yen, just for calm heads. And United have made significant inroads, leading courtesy of that Garnacho goal. Garnacho herring after this one, but eye hands there and clears.
It's good play though. It's nice work from Bruno Fernandes. Nothing wrong with that. Didn't have an obvious pass, just clipped it in behind that Galatasaray backline, allowing Garnacho to chase, and United have a throw-in.
But just before the handball shout, Andy, was a really good save from Onana. He actually got a left hand down to it, and then defenders did well for him right in front of him as Bruno Fernandes tries his luck. Oh! What an extraordinary goal from Bruno Fernandes! 22 yards out, and he unleashes with his right foot and hammers it into the top left-hand corner. 18 minutes gone. Galatasaray 0, Manchester United 2, and on a night where they needed to stand up and be counted in Europe, they are delivering.
Oh, what a goal this is from Bruno. Lovely football between Lindelof and Luke Shaw, and Bruno approaching the edge of the 18-yard box. I would say he's probably 24, 25 yards out, slight angle on his right foot, has a little touch, gets it out of his feet, and he absolutely thumps that, leaving Muslera not a hope in hell of getting anywhere near that. What a goal, what a start for United.
Well, we welcome listeners from TalkSport with the news that Manchester United lead by 2 goals to 0. Bruno Fernandes with the second one just moments ago, a rasping right-footed drive. He'd set up the first for the man of the moment, Alejandro Garnacho, who hammered it into the net from close range. In between times, United survived the penalty shout for a handball by Scott McTominay, a handball that you would expect in many ways a European referee for a Champions League tie to give. It wasn't given, and the VAR didn't overturn it. Paul Van Berkel is the VAR tonight, but that wasn't overturned. But Manchester United with two really good finishes lead by 2 goals to nil, Andy Townsend.
And they're the ultimate party poopers at the moment. United, what with what happened at Goodison and the Garnacho goal, all of a sudden again this second one here has just absolutely silenced this incredible atmosphere. This noise in the stadium before the game was huge. Well, United have set about sorting that out. They've done it brilliantly.
So leading by 2 goals to nil. It's a result that if it stays this way will take United up to 6 points, and their fate will be back within their own hands going into the final round of games, almost certainly, depending on what happens elsewhere tonight in the Bayern against Copenhagen game. But it is a game that essentially is must win as far as United are concerned, and they've got off to a really good start with an excellent opening 20 minutes. Our commentary continues over on TalkSport 2. If you got the TalkSport app, you can download it, swipe left, swipe right, keep abreast with everything that is going on Drive and in the live action that we're bringing you from Istanbul tonight. Galatasaray on the front foot here with Dries Mertens helping a ball inside the area. And Nana has just about been able to beat that one away to safety outside the penalty area. And Andy Townsend and I continue the live commentary on TalkSport 2, where it's Galatasaray 0, Manchester United 2. And United breaking forward up the right-hand side. And the referee says that Anthony was fouled. He just waited to see if play developed to see if there was any advantage. It was a poor challenge from Lucas Torreira that in other conditions might perhaps have warranted a yellow card, but the referee just said it is a free kick for Cotillo in the counter-attack. Anthony actually brandishing an imaginary yellow card is to make sure that he doesn't get himself into trouble for doing that.
Do you know, his opening 20 minutes he's been excellent, Anthony. Been really good. Really good. And everything right. When he's had the chance to travel with the ball and get at people, he's done that. He's gone on the outside as well as going inside, which we see him doing a lot. He's been as good as I've seen him this opening 20 minutes.
The play is stopping. I think the ball is flat. And that's the claim from Victor Lindelof. He just stuck his right hand up and said something to Dries Mertens. Everybody stopped and play will restart with a different ball and a drop ball to United inside their own half. 2-0 up. Remember, they have lost from 2-0 up in the Champions League already this season, but what will they be able to do here? There's Lara letting the ball roll inside his penalty area, and we're still just a few seconds shy of the midway point of the first half on a night that could hardly be going any better for Erik ten Hag or his side.
Going really well. First 5 minutes, Galatasaray, as we expected, come flying out the blocks, and Zaha was influential, and they created one or two pretty awkward and testing moments for United. But then gradually, United playing in white shirts tonight and red shorts, gradually started to get the ball down on the floor and knocking it around, got it to the wide boys, and eventually started to find ways to get forward themselves, and have scored 2 absolutely wonderful goals. The first from Garnacho was a peach hit from close range into the top corner, and Bruno's second was an absolute belter.
And Ndombele, Ziyech, now Boe, right-hand side of the penalty area, his ball in, took a little touch off Amrabat. Sounded nicely for the goalkeeper to come out and catch it. A few claims that was to deliver a back pass, but there's no way that it was, and are perfectly at liberty to get his hands to that. They have had 7 shots in the opening quarter of the game, Galatasaray. That's probably the only cloud behind the silver lining as far as Erik ten Hag is concerned. United have had 2 on target. They've scored with them both absolute beauties in their own way. But the rasping rising drive from Bruno Fernandes is a moment that will live long in the memory. Not United's best goal of the week, but certainly in any other week it would be a real contender. Back-to-back goals in the Champions League for Bruno now, and that one was his first in open play since he scored against Istanbul Başakşehir 3 years ago this week. So it's a long wait without a goal in open play in Champions League football, but almost worth the wait for the quality and significance of the moment when it arrived. It's 2-0 to Manchester United here on TalkSport 2.
Yeah. And Rasmus Højlund really hasn't seen an awful lot of the ball yet, United centre forward, but everywhere else they've looked pretty good, particularly since the first goal went in. I think United have got the right idea. They're not pressing high, no need to with a 2-goal lead to make sure that now they just need to stay compact. But don't let that back line drop too deep back onto the edge of their own box. Just be careful of that.
Dries Mertens for Galatasaray in their gold and crimson halved shirts. Let's bring it forward again. Zaha tried to turn, flicks it with his right foot in towards Icardi, who hung his head in frustration at the lack of quality in his ball as it was given away. And then United try and break quickly, and Højlund back defending leads the counter-attack and is upended. And that's a free kick that United will take after the foul by Angelino.
Again, concentration now for United. They've been in this situation before in these group matches where they've had a good lead and they've let it slip. And now tonight is not a night to do that, particularly up to half-time. Make sure they go in with a 2-goal lead and let Galatasaray be the team to make all the changes and forced to tweak things. United just stay compact, stay solid. They look dangerous when they beat that first press. They look like they can stitch passes together here.
There's a thought to the former Villa and Ireland captain Andy Townsend here on TalkSport 2. The ball's played towards Rasmus Højlund, but cleared by Angelino. Towards halfway, the retreating Icardi heads it away from Maguire, who just stood his ground. There was no foul. Now Højlund's got it. Højlund flicking in with his left foot. Good ball forward by Shaw, who's continued his run, and it just ricocheted onto his right foot. Angelino came across and knocked it away, but Luke Shaw, having made a gallivanting run forward, almost found himself in good possession 8 yards out.
Yeah, they linked up well there, Shaw and Rasmus Højlund. Shaw initially pokes it through for the striker. He cut it back to the penalty spot where he was completely unmarked, Luke Shaw. It was on his right foot. The first touch just wasn't good enough to settle the ball down. But United still have a throw in high up the field down this left side.
Now Shaw's taken it. Found Bruno Fernandes. Galatasaray very quickly had it back. Lucas Torreira slamming it forward. And Maguire just makes sure with the back pass on this slightly sticky surface with all the rain that has been coming down in Istanbul, that he measured it correctly back for Onana. Amrabat can bring it away and play it out towards Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's ball down the right-hand touchline feeds Anthony, who's had a very assured game so far. Back from him to Amrabat on halfway. United leading by 2-0. Garnacho on 11. Bruno Fernandes 8 minutes later, doubling the lead, having set up the first. Now another ball inside the Galatasaray box. Took a deflection off the nearest defender, loops up into the hands of Muslera, who catches it and then runs forward and bowls it out for Torreira to try and get Galatasaray going again. Gets a return ball from Ziyech, and then coming back is a foul by Bruno Fernandes, and it's going to be a yellow card for the challenge on the edge of the penalty area. And there were immediately remonstrations from Bruno Fernandes, but not to the referee. He's complaining about the lack of midfield cover that left him exposed in the first place.
That's exactly what he's doing, Jim. They had good possession, United. Scott McTominay it was that tried to cross the ball. Unfortunately got intercepted. Galatasaray then on the front for Lucas Torreira towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and Bruno Fernandes clips his heels. Knew he was going to get the yellow card. I don't blame him for taking that one, I'll be honest. I think Lucas Torreira there was travelling towards the edge of the box with defenders backpedaling, but it does give them a chance. Hakim Ziyech is over the ball along with Dries Mertens, and they're about 23, 24 yards out. Slight angle, but really good position for a free kick here.
Yeah, it favours the left footer, but it's by no means impossible that it will be a right-footed shot from Mertens. It's a little wipe of the nose on his base layer from Hakim Ziyech as he makes his way back here. He spotted it down. 4 in the wall. 2 Galatasaray players immediately to the left. He's got it through the wall and in. And Galatasaray back in the game. Hakim Ziyech with what looked like a relatively routine free kick. But Onana's weight went the wrong way. He was expecting it to go over the wall, and instead he went open side. And it was very routine. It's Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, goalkeeper, he's deceived the goalkeeper there. Onana feels he's going to go over the white shirts. In the end, Hakim Ziyech knocks that between 2 of his own players that join the end of the wall. Onana dipping to his left, And again on this fast surface, the ball's gone beyond him before he can recover, before he can lean to his right. That's one the goalkeeper's not really seeing a lot of that as it's taken. It's kind of gone in about 2 yards off the centre of the goal along the floor. You know, it's one of those ones you look at and you think you don't want to see a free kick like that going in. And Arna's gone thinking that it's going to go over the top of the wall, and Hakim Ziyech has effectively gone round it, and they're right back in the game.
So 3 goals in the opening half hour. They've had 2 4-3 defeats away from home in the Champions League already this season, Manchester United, and now a test of their mettle as Galatasaray back in it.
What United didn't do there, Jim, it looked like they had about 4 or 5 in the wall, and then there was 2 Galatasaray shirts standing on the end of it, but then you've got to get someone behind those 2 Galatasaray players. Someone has got to, not necessarily 2, but you've got to have one that stands there, because all they did was just move aside and allowed Hakim Ziyech to fire it through the gap.
United did have a player that side, so even further away from the wall, the other side of those 2, but just effectively doing nothing, really. Certainly powerless to be able to stop the Ziyech shot, as the 2 in the mini Galatasaray wall took instant evasive action.
Feels like it's a bit of a soft goal to concede that. But if Ziyech goes over the wall top corner, you have to hold your hands up, you know, nothing you can do about that. But the way that ball actually went past the goalkeeper is a bit soft.
Now they're on the front foot again. Angelino for Zaha, a little deflection on his ball in, which took it out of the path of the on-rushing Icardi, and Shaw will be able to clear.
The let-off there, Zaha's got to do better. In a really good position in the box, just looking for a decent ball across between penalty spot and 6 yard.
Now Ziyech with another ball in that is slightly misdirected, got the wrong angle on it, a little bit too tight the ball in, which Onana could play. It's Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2 with 31 minutes gone.
Yeah, they'll feel a lot better about themselves, the home team, having got back in it. United were looking really comfortable with that Luke Shaw opportunity about 5 minutes ago. They almost had a chance to make it 3, but as it is now, the lead is cut to 1.
Ziyech bringing it forward. Boe making a barnstorming run to his right. He's gone for goal, and that one whistles over the bar. Got a different feel about it now.
Yes, it has.
It's all Galatasaray.
It has. Since the goal, as you can imagine, they're back on the front foot. Ziyech off the right side, cutting in on his left foot. Hits it from outside the box, always rising, no problem. United just need to compose themselves again, get back on that ball, get Bruno in that little bit of space in front of Amrabat and McTominay. Try and find him and let him stitch a few things together.
Now the other Champions League game tonight, Sevilla lead PSV 1-0. Sergio Ramos scoring the goal the week before, the 29th red card of his career. Sevilla lead PSV 1-0, and that means that Arsenal will be through before they've even kicked a ball tonight against Lens, if it stays that way. Rest assured, we'll keep you abreast of all of the events going on over on Talk Sport. Kick off with Adrian Durham tonight, Nicky Gray, Chris Llewellyn and Sam Parkin. Adrian at Arsenal, and all the goals as they own for the Champions League and the EFL. We'll be featuring Sheffield Wednesday against Leicester, Ipswich against Millwall, and also Leeds against Swansea, which is our commentary game here after this one on TalkSport 2. This is the first half of a double bill of European and domestic action for you tonight here on TalkSport 2. This one has been a belter, and we still got an hour left. It's 2-1 to Manchester United, but they're on the back foot, and Galatasaray just not letting United get out of their own half at the moment. A lot of respect between Bruno Fernandes and Dries Mertens. That has been clear to see. Arms around the shoulders on various occasions, and Fernandes has just flicked the ball off Mertens, and again there's just a little word between the pair of them as they walk back to take up their position. Now Mertens stamps the ball away after Fernandes trying to get it back to Shaw, and Galatasaray have a player down injured. It's Ziyech. The free kick has been given United's way. Duncan Dombele just asking the referee for clarification about the award of the free kick. It might have been a handball against Luke Shaw. Bruno Fernandes, who's on a yellow card, possibly left his foot in, but it's been given for an earlier indiscretion by Boe.
Yeah, the referee had already blown his whistle. You're absolutely right, Jim. But Bruno Fernandes there was just trying to intercept that. I can see us beat him to it. He's got to be careful on that yellow card.
Here's Kaan Ayhan at the heart of the defence for Galatasaray. Trailing by 2 goals to 1. Lucas Torreira. Tanguy Ndombele. On loan from Tottenham. One of several in his Galatasaray squad with experience of having played in the Premier League. Here's another, of course, Wolf Sahar, more than 450 Palace games behind him. When they get it back, Bruno Fernandes was just lying injured for a moment, then sensed that nothing was going to be given against him, got back to his feet and walked back into possession. The ball just immediately came to him as he was getting back to his feet. Now to get it forward towards Garnacho, he's given a free kick away. It's breathless stuff.
It is. A really good intensity and zip to this game, as you can imagine.
Oh, Boe has got the wrong side of Lindelof. Back across the edge of the penalty area behind both Mertens and Icardi. It'll break again though for Zaha. And his left-footed shot deflects off Maguire and behind. And United are now hanging on.
Yeah, great play from Boe, the right back, down this right-hand side. The ball he delivered was poor. Then United gave it away once more on the edge of their own box. Eventually Wilfried Zaha on his left foot, Harry Maguire across to make a really important block. But since that goal, it's been all Galatasaray.
10 minutes from half-time. Galatasaray 1, United 2. Corner taken short on the Galatasaray left. Fired inside the penalty area. Oh, Nana got his body behind it as it came in. Wouldn't have counted, actually. The offside flag is up anyway. But United had kept quite a high line, and it's Kaan Ayhan that stood in front of the goalkeeper and completely missed it when it seemed easier just to divert it one side of Onana or the other.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't have counted.
Correct, he looked just offside, didn't he?
11 attempts to 3 in Galatasaray's favour. Possession just marginally in their advantage as well, 54-46. 2-1 to Manchester United though, the bottom line. It's 3-2 to Galatasaray. Last time the two sides met, and of course they came back from 2-1 down in that game to win and missed a penalty in the final 20 minutes as well, as United capitulated at Old Trafford. Can't capitulate here. The situation in the group just doesn't allow it. Wan-Bissaka playing it forward on the right hand side of the box. Balacha comes across and heads it out of play for United's first corner of the day.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. We're not sure about it. If you haven't got an obvious pass in front of you, then just turn defenders around. It's not a night, it's not a surface necessarily for those guys to take any risk. Balacha there, just happy to head that out. Another United corner.
Bruno Fernandes will go across the tape. He's in no great hurry as he makes his way over towards that far touchline. Retrieves the ball now from in front of the hoarding, spots it down. Raises his right arm above his head. 5 in white inside the penalty area to try and hit. Lindelof was the one that he chose to try and pick out. It was knocked away by Ndombele. Out comes Onana sweeping up inside his own half of the centre circle, and Cruyff turns Ziyech in there. Now it's thrashed forward in the penalty area, and McTominay will let it run out of play, off Balacha and out for another corner.
I mean, Onana there, as you say, he's about 5 yards from the centre circle, and he actually throws a little dummy in to reverse the direction he's facing, and then sweeps a lovely ball out to the right side for now another corner for Bruno Fernandes to whip in.
It's fine when it comes off, but if he got that wrong, it would have been horrendous. Bruno Fernandes taking this latest corner, which is headed over the bar. Sharp chance coming McTominay's way, but he was on his way down by the time the ball got to him, and it's flown off his head and over.
Decent ball in from Bruno Fernandes, who's actually played very well. His goal was wonderful, but I think he's used the ball really sensibly, wisely, efficiently. Everybody in the United shirt, I think they've played their part in what's been a really interesting first half. Yes, Galatasaray have had more chances, more situations, a little bit more of the ball, but United have used it effectively when they've had it.
Wan-Bissaka picking it up, going back to his goalkeeper Onana, who will cycle it out now towards Maguire. Jim Panther and Andy Townsend talking you through the action. Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2. It's the group as it stands right now. Bayern 12 points from 4. Manchester United 6 points from 5. Galatasaray 4 from 5, and Copenhagen 4 from 4. Manchester United in the one remaining game are at home to Bayern. Galatasaray go to Denmark to take on Copenhagen. Out comes Muslera, and he was just about justified in doing that, swooping up, just getting it clear from Højlund, about 15 yards outside his penalty area.
Came out and scissor kicked it, didn't he, the goalkeeper? Because the ball was bouncing. Højlund looked like he was really chasing it and chasing it down hard. Good decision from the goalkeeper, got there, made sure he dealt with it.
Wan-Bissaka just delaying the restarts with the ball in his hands, above his head. And towards Bruno Fernandes now. Bruno Fernandes flight kicking it forward. And Galatasaray knock it away. Wan-Bissaka on the touchline. So United player down over the touchline for a moment, and play will stop. I think the referee just a little bit concerned that perhaps there was a collision with the hoardings, and so there's going to be a break in play now whilst Anthony is assessed. It didn't take long for the referee to assess him, to be fair.
No.
He's happy that Anthony is okay. We're just seeing a replay now. Anthony controlling the ball on the left-hand side, so I was given a little kick from Angelino.
Yeah, it's a foul. Angelino, as Anthony rolls that one back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Angelino, the left back, grips his heels, and the United man hits the floor quite well within his rights, and a wide free kick right on the far touchline.
He's swung in now by Bruno Fernandes. No, it's not. He's siphoned it down the touchline. Another opportunity for United to get the bodies inside the penalty area. It's half cleared for Garnacho, who tried to unleash a howitzer from 25 yards out, but it was blocked by Ziyech. United trying to win the second ball. Lindelof helping it forward. Running as far as Boe, and the right back for Galatasaray gets it clear to halfway. Now then he's brought down by Shaw, and Ziyech is barreled into him on halfway, and that's a Manchester United free kick.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Luke Shaw there. He's just happy to take the free kick and break the game up. And every time United do that, they get a chance to get set and get organised. Galatasaray very much on the front foot. They're pressing and squeezing and trying to win the ball back. United just trying to stitch a few passes together and gradually ease their way up the field. Good play again here.
Another free kick is given, and a yellow card is brandished to Boe.
Yeah, for a foul on Garnacho, who's still down on the floor. Just too eager to try and get it. Sometimes you can't always pinch the ball, you can't always win it, you just got to send players backwards. Boe there now, in his eagerness to try and win the ball back, has now got himself on a yellow. Not a handy position when you're up against someone like Garnacho.
None of the starters from either side, incidentally, are a yellow card away from a suspension. One of the Galatasaray substitutes is Sergio Oliveira, but nobody is precariously walking the yellow card tightrope tonight. We've got 3 minutes to go to half-time here on TalkSport 2. Manchester United lead 2-1. The last 5 minutes have been better for them as it's become more fragmented and stop-start. That's just taken the rhythm out of Galatasaray. And then this long free kick taken by United, and before it dropped Bruno Fernandes' way, he's fouled Angelino, and now Galatasaray have a free kick of their own. And Maguire has a quizzical look on his face as to how that happened as he just punted it forward into a good area. Chance for Ian to bring the ball forward now for Galatasaray. To Boe, and Garnacho stops his progress, flicks it out of play, past Erik ten Hag. It's a throw. 2 minutes plus stoppage time before half-time.
Yeah, United's back four quite narrow and compact. Amrabat sitting between them, sometimes dropping between the two centre-halves. McTominay and Bruno Fernandes given a little more freedom.
Oh, good ball forward. Icardi, no flag against him yet. He fires it in. United expecting to see the flag come up. And it has done.
Yeah. Great ball though. Straight down the middle of the field. Be interested to see exactly how far Icardi was offside. Tell you what, not a lot.
I don't know that he is, Andy, seeing the replay.
It's Lindelof. He came back. He came back a couple of yards and then obviously transferred his body weight to get forward. Brilliant through ball. It looked like he might just be off, but it's being checked, Jim, obviously.
It is being checked. I think it is very, very close. But the good news as far as United are concerned is that the on-field decision has been upheld, and it is a free kick for offside to restart play. Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2. Icardi offside, but a close run thing.
Yeah. And look, from being 2 up, United scored 2 great goals, really well-worked goals. But from being 2 up, now they still have a lead, but there's nothing in the game. The game now is, the ball's changing hands quite quickly. Galatasaray throwing lots of men forward, very much in the balance. United will be delighted to go in at half-time with a slender lead.
McTominay receives a throw and then gives Galatasaray another throw, so take level with the edge of their own penalty area. Maybe a couple of minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. We'll find out in about 40 seconds. Angelino with the heavily tattooed arms and neck as well these days, taking a throw. The former Manchester City man did play in one Manchester derby against United, which he lost in his City days. Only made a handful of appearances for Pep's man. Maguire stepping up firmly from the defensive line has left the Galatasaray player on the deck. Yes, no foul.
Wilfried Zaha it is. Harry Maguire did well there. Ball was laid from Angelino into Wilfried Zaha, but Maguire intercepted that. In doing so, he just caught Zaha, who made a meal of it, rolling around on the floor. He's back up on his feet now.
Ziyech has got possession. And he's found Ihan bringing it forward over halfway as we go into a couple of minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Here on TalkSport 2, Manchester United have a 2-1 lead. There have been moments where it's felt as though the lead is very precarious, that they've been hanging on. Bonaventure coming forward and almost squeezing it through for Zaha inside the penalty area. Can at the second attempt. Zaha then takes a tumble, gets back to his feet, looks as though he might have flicked the ball with his hand. Referee didn't agree. Shot comes in from the edge of the penalty area. Now someone has told him that Zaha did handle it, and it's a free kick to United.
Absolutely, he stumbled there, Wilfried Zaha, lost his footing in the box. He's having a little word with Harry Maguire, Wilfried Zaha. He wasn't happy with that challenge a few moments ago. It was a good challenge, good tackle from the United centre-half. Just there, when the ball was poked through to him, he just used his arm to try and control the ball actually as he was falling to the ground. It was well spotted by the officials in the end, and it just gives United a chance to just draw a breath, reorganise, reset as we approach half-time.
Minute of stoppage time to go. Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2. Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes with the goals for United inside the opening 20 minutes. Ziyech replying with a free kick just before the half-hour mark. And both sides are just going around kicking each other at the moment. And in a way, that might suit United. Amrabat has the latest culprit and has just raised his right foot up to try and get the ball away. Lucas Torreira's gone for the same ball and has kicked up with his right foot into the studs of Amrabat's boot. Yeah, Amrabat's been booked for that.
He has been booked for that. He's a little unlucky, I felt there.
But it has given Galatasaray one more set piece. Maguire patrolling the penalty area, heads away. Angelino back towards halfway. United will push the defensive line up again. Galatasaray working all the way back to the goalkeeper, but Nestor Muslera has the last touch of a first half that has been so engrossing and engaging. And as things stand right now, Manchester United have the result that they would want. So the Spanish referee gets us back underway. Galatasaray can give them right to left as we look at these pictures in their gold and crimson shirts. Manchester United white shirts, red shorts, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka heads the ball away and out for a throw that will be taken on the Galatasaray left. United lining up with Onana in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Shaw, Amrabat and Anthony, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho, and Højlund up front. And we welcome listeners from TalkSport at the start of the second half. Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2, still the score as it was at the break. Those early goals from Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes for United. Perfect start. Hakim Ziyech with a free kick that United didn't defend very well, and they've got plenty of defending to do, you would imagine, over the next 45 minutes. Andy Townsend, the former Aston Villa and Ireland captains, alongside me. Andy, what do Manchester United need to do more of in the next 45 minutes to make sure that they can see this through?
Well, look, they're going to need to stay compact, Jim. They're going to need to be very aggressive with their own defensive work and pressing when they get that moment. When you get that chance to turn the ball over and stitch a couple of passes together and beat the Galatasaray press, you've got to punish. You've got to make the most of it. They did it brilliantly with their 2 goals in the first half. They can do it again.
Anthony coming back, has fouled him, and it's a free kick that will be taken by Galatasaray about 15-20 yards outside the penalty area. Actually, by the time the ball has been spotted down, it's probably nearer 20 than 15. If you've got the TalkSport app, it's easy for you to swipe left and swipe right. Keep abreast of everything that is going on in this game with our live commentary continuing on TalkSport 2. Hakim Ziyech standing over this free kick. An opportunity for Galatasaray to get themselves back on level terms early in the second half. Left-footed, he's clipped it in, should be easily headed away by Lindelof, and then United try and get it further clear with Garnacho, but he's missed his kick. Comes back out for Dries Mertens on the right-hand side. Galatasaray just with a more measured approach, bring it forward with Boe. United could do with stepping forward here. But just inviting a little bit of pressure with Ziyech finding Boe, who works it back out to the Galatasaray right. Ball inside the penalty area is volleyed only into the side netting. It's a glorious opportunity, one that the centre-half Ayhan hasn't been able to take, but already signs that the next 40 minutes are going to be tough for Manchester United. They still lead by 2-1, and commentary continues on TalkSport 2. And he's a really good chance.
Oh, what a great chance that is for Ayhan there. Brilliant ball in from Dries Mertens. United guilty there, Jim, of just getting numbers back behind the ball, but not working out to the ball, not pressurising the ball. No good just getting back and thinking that you're safe in numbers. You're not. One good ball as Dries Mertens delivered there. Very nearly back at 2-2 there, Galatasaray. Good play from them. United got to be a little bit more aggressive when they're working out to deny.
The other Champions League game that is taking place at the same time as this one is also back underway, just out of the second half in Seville, where Sevilla lead PSV by a goal to nil. They, like Galatasaray, had a goal disallowed late in the first half. As for handball, Jibril Sow, the man that didn't score the goal, but Sergio Ramos is on the score sheet. Sevilla leading PSV by a goal to nil, and a reminder, if it stays that way, Arsenal are through without even kicking a ball tonight. They do take on Lens, and we'll have coverage of all the news from North London as it happens over on TalkSport with Adrian round the grounds. That's a programme that begins very shortly at 7 o'clock. This one, Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2, and Andy Townsend will play 4 minutes of the second half.
We have indeed. United are trying to slow things down. Difficult. Easier said to done when people say, why don't you just keep the ball? Look, you'd love to be able to keep the ball, but Galatasaray forcing errors out of United. They're squeezing the game themselves.
Bruno gets it forward. That's a really good run down the left-hand side by Garnacho. Had to scamper to make sure that his red boots got to the ball before it went over the byline. Now it's delivered inside the penalty area, and the two United players in there both attacked the same ball and made the same run into the centre of the 6-yard box. Rather than peeling away, Anthony's hurt himself and is just tenderly feeling his left knee and leg. There's a Galatasaray player, Bardakshid, just down inside the 6-yard box for a moment, but he's okay. He's going to be able to continue. One of the United players had run into him, and with neither player needing any treatment, play then restarts. United get a free kick given their way. Amrabat taking the free kick too quickly, just kick the ball when it was still moving, and the referee says they calm things down. And United happy to oblige. They lead 2-1, we play 50 minutes.
Yeah. Of course, there's an urgency about Galatasaray and everything that they're doing. United, when they get the chance with these free kicks, they can take as long as they like. As Bruno winds one in towards the far post, it just gets cut out before it reaches its intended target.
You see sides doing that much more cleverly these days. They're wasting time by taking the free kick quickly, so it looks as though there's an urgency. Yeah, but they know that they're taking it illegally. They're taking it from the wrong place. They're taking it when it's still moving or whatever. And the referee says, "Oh no, you've got to take it again." Oh, yeah. Okay, ref, we'll go back, and then it's a brilliant time-wasting tactic when it appears that it's actually quite the reverse. Anthony flicking it out towards Wan-Bissaka, 5 yards outside the penalty area. Anthony gets it again, goes down towards the dead ball line. Faced up by Angelino, who was a poor ball inside the penalty area as he looked for McTominay. United win it back in the next phase of play, though, with Bruno and Wan-Bissaka involved. McTominay won the ball in defeat on the corner of the penalty area. Hit wider. Bruno's got time to measure across here. 4 targets. Oh, he struck out. The goalkeeper's made a real mess of it. He's come back towards the edge of the penalty area. Galatasaray should be able to win the seconds. Maguire leaning over his man, has been judged to have fouled Icardi, and it's a free kick going to be taken by Galatasaray, midway between the edge of their own penalty area and the halfway line. Still 2-1 United.
Looked like he made a hash of that, didn't he? Muslera there.
And now Boe pushing forward at the other end, frustrated with himself, and he couldn't whip his cross past Lindelof. It goes out of play for the first corner of the second half of Galatasaray.
Just seeing Bruno Fernandes cross once more from right out on the far side, whipping it towards the near post. Muslera scrambles just to parry it away.
Galatasaray's fifth corner, every United player back in the penalty area, swung in, really good header clear. It came from Lindelof, and then Boe has lent into one of the United players inside the box and has fouled him, and Garnacho's down holding the back of his head, and Erik ten Hag's far from happy as the rain continues to pour. And it remains 2-1 to Manchester United. Elsewhere, good news for Arsenal fans is Sevilla are 2 up against PSV. I don't think too many people anticipated that would happen tonight. Youssef En-Nesyri has scored the second early in the second half, and Arsenal on the brink of the last 16 in the Champions League with 2 games to spare for them. Manchester United hoping just to throw themselves a lifeline. At the moment they're doing it, they lead 2-1.
Yeah, just seeing Erik ten Hag complaining about the challenge from Boe. He was on a yellow card. Garnacho's on the receiving end of it. I think he's got every right to contest it. He's not horribly late, albeit he certainly catches the United man with his head.
And now Boe has led into him again, and the ball has beaten the pair of them, and a shot comes inside the penalty area and deflects away. I thought out of play for a corner. The referee's given a goal kick and then produces a yellow card for Ihan, and presumably for something that was said. And players from both teams have to make sure that they keep a lid on their tempers here.
Well, we know they will get emotional. They certainly will, Galatasaray. I expect that. I think the longer the game goes on, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a red card at some point this evening, but United just need to make sure it isn't them. Well, Harry Maguire, that's a little too slow and casual. Going back to the goalkeeper, who could have done it sooner than that.
Ronaldo did get it away, and Anthony will gallivant down the right-hand touchline. Lucas Torreira comes back, puts it out. It's a throw that will be taken on the United right. 9 minutes into the second half. Still Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 2. That's been the way of it for about 25 minutes now. Maguire controlling the ball. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Onana, who's in all black today. A mixed bag of the Champions League campaign he's had so far. He reached the final last year. Here's Wan-Bissaka, right-hand side of the area.
Oh, yes.
Squeezed in at the near post. And Manchester United lead by 3 goals to 1. Scott McTominay making the run. Nobody picked him up. And he slid in and diverted it in past Muslera. The 2-goal lead is restored. And United get ever closer to having this lifeline in matchday 6.
It's a brilliant United goal, that. It really is. It was beautifully constructed from the edge of their own box, played through the middle of the park. Anthony drifted inside, rolls it out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who rolls it right along the 6-yard box for Scott McTominay, who's found this goal-scoring edge in his game, hasn't he? For club and for country. He's there to slide in, bottom of his boot, gets it on it, knocks it past the goalkeeper at the near post. And that's that moment I was talking about. That's that bit of care at the top of the field that you need to make the difference in these Champions League matches, and that's a brilliant goal once more. Their goals tonight, United's, have been first class.
3 very different goals, 3 expertly taken goals from, I think, the only 3 attempts that they've had on target all day. McTominay's had this, as you alluded to, Andy, this great purple patch for Scotland. 6 in 6 at one stage. That is his first Champions League goal in his career.
A big goal it is as well, really important one. Took it ever so well, and again he's just, those runs he's making into the box now, he's timing them perfectly, he's arriving at the right time, doing it really well. As we see Anthony on the receiving end of a tackle from Dries Mertens, they'll start to lose their composure. Galatasaray, 3-1 down. 1 or 2 of their players will start lunging and diving in. United cool heads just need to keep a lid on their emotions.
And they're going to make a double change, Manchester United. We're going to see Martial, presumably for Højlund, who we haven't really seen heavily involved at all. And Kobbie Mainoo is coming on, which, if ever you needed an endorsement of his fantastic Premier League debut, a full Premier League debut at the weekend, it's the fact that he's going to get 35 minutes here. So Mainu and Martial will be coming on at the next break in play. United get it over the top. Just wonder whether Garnacho might have been offside if he got to that first. In fact, the flag does come up against him. So it's a free kick that Galatasaray will take edge of their own penalty area. 57 gone, 3-1 United, and the changes are going to be made.
Yeah, interesting to see which way Erik ten Hag goes here. Will he take off one of the wide boys in either Anthony or Garnacho to just supplement the midfield a little bit more with Kobbie Mainoo? Martial, of course, will go up down the middle. I think you're right. That will be Rasmus Højlund, who we can see, I think, just making his way over to the sideline. Oh, it's Sofian Amrabat. So whether he's got a little bit of an issue, not sure about that, but Mainoo will certainly go in there and replace Amrabat, and that's again going to be a real good test for this young boy who passed it with flying colours at Goodison Park.
Oh, he was really good.
Good, wasn't he? Really good, Jim. Played sensibly, played smart, was brave enough to step in between the two centre-halves and receive the ball. Did it really, really well. So they need more of that again here.
So Martial is coming on for Højlund. Højlund, no opportunities tonight to extend a fantastic maiden Champions League campaign, goal-scoring run. 5 he scored with a couple of braces. 3-1 at home to Galatasaray, but the quality of the finishing, of the completion of the rare chances that Manchester United have created tonight has been exemplary. There's going to be a double change for Galatasaray in a moment as well, with Acticolo and Sergio Oliveira, the players who will be coming on. We're just short of the hour mark. You would talk Sport 2. It's Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 3. Arsenal heading through as things stand with Sevilla leading PSV 2-0. And United on the front foot again with Anthony. All very nearly tricked his way through past Badakci inside the penalty area. And Martial gets his first touch of the night. Flick down towards Wan-Bissaka, and a swift backheel flick got it back to him. Martial then turns it forward, hits Badakci on the rib cage, bounces towards the edge of the penalty area, and then another rumbustious challenge involving Shaw, who just made himself a human brick wall as Ziyech tried to get it past him, and Shaw has found Ziyech and gets a yellow card.
I didn't think it was a yellow card challenge, that. Yes, it was a foul. Not every foul they'll be coming together has to end up with a card. Of course, you get to this stage in a game away from home, United winning 3-1. Hakim Ziyech there making a meal of that challenge from Luke Shaw. Puts him on a yellow card.
So Galatasaray make their double change, and Ndombele's off, Dries Mertens is off as well. They've brought on Kerem Acticolo, who scored at Old Trafford, hasn't netted in any of his 8 games since then, the Turkish international. And they've also brought in Sergio Oliveira, the Portuguese international central midfielder. He's on a yellow card, and he will be suspended for match day 6 if he's booked tonight. We've already seen 5 in the book. There remains Galatasaray 1, Manchester United 3. They got half an hour to protect this 2-goal lead.
And the best way to protect it, Jim, is to continue getting forward, because they've looked very dangerous, United, and there will be more room. They'll have better opportunities to maybe counter. Just got to play sensibly. So far, I think they've done it really well. Really well. Maguire and Lindelof up to now, in the main, have been really solid. Got to make sure they don't lose their concentration for what's left of this game.
Well, another free kick has been given. So, stop-start.
It suits United. That suits them.
Tommy was the player who's fouled that time. Torreira stamping on his left. Standing on his left. Stood on. Yeah. And it's a free kick that United have taken. Tommy couldn't find a way past Will Sahar. Lucas Torreira's got it now. Torreira played forward through the midfield for Icardi. Icardi out towards the right hand side for Boe. Boe making good ground, surviving the first challenge, gets away from Garnacho. Garnacho got back goal side very quickly inside the penalty area, and then Bruno Fernandes has found Ziyech, and it's a free kick near the corner of the box. It's about 3 or 4 yards from the corner of the box, so not really a shooting position, but it's potentially very dangerous area.
Yeah, Bruno's silly there, just tripping Hakim Ziyech, totally unnecessary. Is he on a yellow card, Bruno?
Yeah.
I mean, that is very, very silly there. That sort of was a deliberate little trip. Got to be careful, be smart, be sensible. Hakim Ziyech not going to run anybody. Certainly not going to run past Bruno. Just send him back.
So Ziyech hits it in, left-footed, roll with pace. Oh, straight through Onana. Another free kick from Hakim Ziyech. Onana dived to his right-hand side, looked as though he'd slightly misjudged it, and nobody expected that it would hit his hand and fall behind him and in.
And I wonder if he'd have let it go. If it was an indirect free kick, if the goalkeeper not that you would. Had he have not touched it, it might have ended up not counting. But as it is, Hakim Ziyech has whipped a really dangerous ball in, no doubt about that. Body's running across the front of it. It looks like Anthony Martial has gone to head it and kind of at the last minute changed his mind, completely outfoxing Onana. Again, hits the goalkeeper, crawls over the line. The goalkeeper and his defenders should be sorting out a lot better. That's another soft goal conceded.
Well, he's gone down to his right, he's got his right glove to it, but it's come off the bottom of his hand as he's dived. And that has flicked it back across his diving body and past his feet.
Could Martial, Jim, have got something on that? I thought he could have. It looked like from that first angle, I'm thinking, put your head on it, head it out for a corner. But it looks like he was afraid to touch it. Maybe he thought he might glance it towards the goal. And he kind of just sort of seemed to duck out of it at the last moment. Goalkeeper then completely outfoxed. Ends up getting a hand on it, but knocks it into the back of the net. And from nowhere again, Galatasaray now have something to cling to, some hope left to fight for.
Yeah, back in business. That's the 10th goal United have conceded away from home in the competition this season. They've played 5 hours. 4 hours, I beg your pardon. And another free kick is given. Ziyech on a hat-trick. A yellow card is shown.
It's one Bissaka for a foul on Wilfred Zaha. He's a little late as he lunges in for that. Now they mustn't panic here, United. Keep your composure. Don't commit to unnecessary challenges in and around the edge of the box. We've seen twice tonight what they can do from free kicks. Don't keep conceding them.
Well, they scored from one that was pretty central. They scored from one on the right. Now they've got one on the left. I know what's going through Onana's mind here. It's unlikely to be a Ziyech shot from this angle. There might be a ball in from the left footer. Swung in instead by Atakolo. Easily headed away by Anthony Martial. Boe will mop up and go all the way back for his goalkeeper. 26 minutes to go. Oh, a terrible clearance from Muslera. And he's got away with it. Garnacho went to try and charge it down. Looks as though she's paying lip service at charging him down. But the clearance hit him and then ricocheted out towards the touchline. Muslera was 40 yards out of his goal. But the ball beat Garnacho to the touchline, goes out of play for a Galatasaray throw.
Lucky boy there, Muslera. Careless. Just clattering that ball into Garnacho. But again now, that's just given Galatasaray some impetus. You know, they hadn't had any for a long time, but they've got it again at the moment.
And we welcome listeners joining us on Talk Sport. Manchester United's 2-goal lead has again been halved. And it was a moment to forget, not the first in this Champions League campaign for Andre Onana, who's got another save to make here. Atakolo firing one in from distance. Onana got his hands behind it, went into the ground, looked as though he was going to nutmeg himself with that one. The goal that he conceded from Hakim Ziyech was a free kick hitting with real whip and violence from outside the penalty area on the right-hand side. A left-footed in-swinging delivery that Onana seemed to dive past. It flicked off his hand and then went back across the face of his body, but the momentum on the ball took it into the net. Eminently preventable, and it means that Manchester United, who've gone 3-1 up with Scott McTominay at the end of a well-worked move 10 minutes into this second half, now only have a 1-goal lead again, and it looks fragile. Zicardi plays it forward here, but it's knocked away by Maguire. Delighted to say I've got Andy Townsend alongside me. We've talked many times over on TalkSport 2, Andy, about the fact that they are hanging on, but again, that Ziyech goal now really has that feel to the game that Manchester United are up against it.
Yeah, again, they were in total control, United, after scoring an excellent goal through Scott McTominay. Really well worked. Their goals tonight, United's goals have been really classy and have punished Galatasaray at big moments. But since that second goal for Galatasaray, again now the game very much in the balance.
3-2, Manchester United leading it. If you got the TalkSport app, you will be able to swipe to your left, swipe to your right, and keep abreast with everything that is going on. Ball inside the penalty area with Muslera, who can play it out towards Badakcha, and he'll turn in the left back position and work it back to his goalkeeper. Muslera side putting it through the box. It's all very nervy. United putting a little bit of pressure on, but Muslera can clear, and it goes out towards the right-hand side where the counter-attack is on, and Boe has had a good game at right-back. He's helped it on here. Torreira, he's got Icardi in the middle, he's got Zaha in the middle. What's the cross going to be like? He checks back, lays it back for Ziyech. Left-footed effort from him, and Onana beat it away just before Icardi could get there to nod it past him.
It's great play. Excellent football from Galatasaray. Under big pressure in their own 6-yard box. But they played their way out of it, eventually finding Lucas Torreira. Big run down the right side. He rolls it back, chops back for Hakim Ziyech on that left foot. And Icardi goes flying in towards Onana, but was offside. Had it have gone in, it wouldn't have counted. But again, a kind of similar delivery to the free kick that Hakim Ziyech put in for the second goal.
They're struggling to deal with Ziyech now. How do they rectify it?
Again, Jim, it's one of he's going to float around the pitch, Ziyech. You know, when he stays wide, as we saw in his Chelsea days, I don't think he's particularly effective. But when he floats and when he roams and when he picks up a little deeper position, he's got decent quality with his left foot. He can pick people out in the 6-yard box. They're going to get runners in there. They're going to commit more bodies in there. So United have got to try and stop those crosses and deal with things as best they can.
With TalkSport and TalkSport 2, that's Andy Townsend, the former veteran Ireland captain. It's Galatasaray 2, Manchester United 3. There's been so much late drama in the games involving both of these clubs in this group. Galatasaray at home to Copenhagen were 2-0 down with 4 minutes to go. Got that back to draw 2-2. All 3 goals in their 2-1 defeat away to Bayern were in the final 10 minutes. They scored with a winning goal at Old Trafford with about 10 minutes to go. And you sense that the scoring here isn't over yet either. There's Wilf Zaha. A little nutmeg of Kobe Mainu who's come on. The return ball intended for Zaha was overhit, and Nana very grateful to see it run out of play, and it's going to take as much time as he thinks he can get away with about the restart here. 21 minutes to go. Galatasaray 2, Manchester United 3. So the group as it stands at the moment, Bayern, who are in action later against Copenhagen, have 12. They've already won the group. Manchester United 6 from 5. Galatasaray 4 from 5. Copenhagen 4 from 4. McTominay back to his goalkeeper, and Nana gets it away. Certainly been good value for money, haven't they, away from home in the Champions League this season. United, they've had 2 4-3 defeats and lead this one 3-2. Onana taking a touch inside the penalty area, and then the second one was just almost involuntary stamp forward towards Lindelof. Lindelof and Mainu, and then Bruno Fernandes can find Shaw. They'll play their way out. Ball forward towards Martial was overhit.
It's a poor ball from Luke Shaw. They played their way out in a tight area there, initiated from Onana. I could tell from your voice, Jim, you were like me there. We were all just panicking for a split second. But fair play to United. They found a way out of that press.
Well, they're on the front foot again here. Galatasaray, it's a stunning goal. Actacolo, and it's 3-3. And yet again, Manchester United have blown a 2-goal lead in this Champions League group. It happened against Copenhagen. Now it's happening in Istanbul. 2-0 and 3-1 they led this, but with 20 to go, it's 3-3. And Actacolo, who scored at Old Trafford, has come off the bench to score against them again here with a brilliant rising drive from 15 yards.
It's a great goal, but again, I think the goalkeeper's position is a poor one. I don't think Andre Onana is across to his near post enough. If Actacolo is going to beat you, he's got to whip that across you with dip and pace and go into the far post. What he's done is he's ended up receiving a ball inside the 18-yard box, slight angle, and he has slammed it 6-7 foot off the ground into the top corner.
And now Manchester United coming forward again inside the penalty area, but Garnacho couldn't quite get past Badakcha. Well, it feels from 3-1, now becoming 3-3, that there might only be one winner in this. Ball in towards Icardi, who very nearly got on the end of that cross. United desperately hanging on. Another shot comes in. That took a little deflection from a shot from Ihan that came into it from Sergio Oliveira, beg your pardon, but took it into a central area. And Onana was able to make the save. But the concession of that goal of Anticolo has taken United from second in the group back down to fourth.
Yeah. Indeed it has. And fair play to Galatasaray. That's a brilliant goal, the one they've just scored. I do think United, the first two goals they've conceded tonight were preventable. They could have done more to stop those going in. I don't think the goalkeeper's covered himself in any glory, actually. Certainly with those two, or indeed that last one. I don't think his position was a good one when Actacolo hit that, and he hit it beautifully. He really struck it ever so well.
Waves horribly at fault Andre Onana for the first goal that Bayern scored against them, as Martial tries to thread the ball forward towards Bruno Fernandes, but the offside flag is up. So if United draw tonight, I don't know, it's a big if. I think you can assume that Bayern will beat Copenhagen, if that's how it pans out. Then United can still qualify if they beat Bayern and the other game on match day 6 is a draw. They could qualify if they beat Bayern and Copenhagen beat Galatasaray, although with goal-to-goal difference, it would depend really how bad Copenhagen's defeat was tonight. So there are still permutations for United to get the job done if it ends as a draw. But the difference between drawing this and winning it, that is absolutely immense.
Yeah. Do you know, we see this so much with Champions League football, we really do. This is like a knockout game now, this. They're getting to the end of the group where teams are looking for wins, they need wins, so they're going for it. And these games, they hang in the balance, they really do, and they change so quickly. You concede a goal, you lose momentum, you lose all the impetus, you invite the team, you're playing against Ontia, and before you know it, you've had a 3-1 lead, it's just evaporated in thin air, literally gone in minutes.
17 minutes to go. Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3. It does make you recall that famous 3-3 draw between the two sides at Old Trafford all those years ago, 30 years ago, the 93-94 season. United as defending Premier League champions were in just the second season of the Champions League. Galatasaray knocked them out, 3-3 draw at Old Trafford, and 0-0 draw in Istanbul. And away goals did its thing. No longer a factor in any ties, of course. But the bottom line is that Manchester United have to score a winner here.
Just need to get a little bit more compact in midfield. United, they've got Kobe Mino who's sitting in front of the two centre-halves, but they're getting done down the flanks.
Oh, just played round Bruno Fernandes here. It's Boe. Boe's ball back towards the penalty spot. Zaha and Icardi attacking the same ball in from Torreira, and then thrashed clear by Mainu out towards the United left, where Garnacho has brilliantly kept it in. He was on the scamper as he pulled back there by Ziyech. Referee's assistant didn't think so, and Galatasaray will play on inside their own half.
Well, it's a breathless game now, it really is. There's lots of room out there now. You can have a ball into the centre of the park and have a touch or two before really you're confronted by an opponent. What a tired legs the pitch will be playing, of course, heavier than usual with all the rain we've had earlier today, but this one now still in the balance. United coming forward once more.
And just setting up a 4 against 3 for a moment with Garnacho trying to take on Boe, who's one of 6 players who's been booked tonight. Garnacho turning away, right-footed, curling effort, and he wasn't far wide. Wow. Muslera diving away to his left, took a nervous look over his shoulder when the ball went past his gloves, but it went past the post as well, and it's still 3-3.
Close, wasn't it? Really close from Garnacho. Had lots of time, lots of space to get that onto his right foot. It's about 22, 23 yards out, slightly wider than the posts. Whips it with his right foot. Muslera at full stretch, but it's probably a yard wide in the end.
And Muslera, in fairness, having seen the replay, might have had it covered, but even so, it was a nervous moment for him. And now United are on the front foot again, and it's again 4 against 3, and this one goes just wide of the other post. McTominay striding forward. And the man who scored United's 3rd, coming close to scoring their 4th. Muslera wasn't stopping that. He was on his knees on the edge of the 6-yard box. McTominay's effort went a foot wide.
Yeah. good chance that there were 4 on 3 there, United. McTominay had Anthony Martial free to his right, but kept striding right in the middle of the field, right to the edge of the box, hit a long, low stinging shot. Muslera diving to his right, but it's just always going wide.
All of a sudden, Andy, the game has done an about-face again.
Yeah.
As United prepare to make another double change. You're going to see Pellistri and Dalot on in a moment, but they've had better control of it in the last 5 minutes than they've had for about an hour.
Yeah.
Angelino's ball in, knocked away. Comes down for Lucas Torreira. Sergio Oliveira, right-footed from the Portuguese international. It's a peach of a ball. Out towards the Galatasaray right, where it's been controlled by Ziyech. Ziyech letting the ball come to a standstill, waving his foot over the top of it, finding Boe, whose first time ball is overhit for Acticolo, and it goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Onana. Here comes the double change. Garnacho is coming off, Pellistri replaces him, and Dalot is on for Wan-Bissaka. 12 minutes to go, 3-3.
Yep, again using the substitutes wisely. Ten Hag, Garnacho's played well, Pellistri's coming on for him. Diogo Dalot, experienced boy. He's on as well for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Some fresh legs, chance to get a few messages on and just tweak a few things. Just slow the game down, just allow people to draw a breath for a moment or two.
So this is how it looks for United. 12 minutes to go. They've got Onana in goal. The back four of Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof and Shaw, and then Mainu and McTominay. Bruno Fernandes in the centre of midfield with Pellistri to his left. They'll bring it forward inside the penalty area here with Dalot, and it almost squeezed through for Pellistri to score with his first touch, but Muslera could come out and save with his feet. They've got Anthony one side, Pellistri now the other, and Martial has come on to replace Hoyland. He's through the middle. 3-3 here on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. And here are the thoughts of Andy Townsend.
Another good run from Anthony. I liked what Anthony has done with the ball. He's been really positive from the get-go tonight. Of course, we've had this 15-20 minute spell second half when United haven't seen as much of the ball, but they've always looked dangerous when they've turned it over or when they've took good care with it. They've always looked like they could play through this Galatasaray team, and they're still creating chances.
Dalot to Martial, Anthony. Play forward, McTominay might have been offside, so they found Pellistri instead, and he skied it over the bar out of play. They probably have more shots on goal in the last 15 minutes than they had in the first hour.
Yep, indeed, you're right, Jim, they have. And that's because the changes that Galatasaray have made, you know, they're set up now very offensive, and they're going to concede possession, and they're going to concede a lot of ground. There's space out there for United if they can use it wisely, if they can just evade that first challenge, that initial press, and then they'll have white shirts in abundance in those forward areas.
The other Champions League game that's taking place at the moment has seen another goal and a red card. Sevilla down to 10 men after Lucas Ocampos was sent off, and moments later Ismail Sabari, the Moroccan, pulled one back for PSV. So it's 10-man Sevilla, 2 PSV, 1. As things stand, that's good enough for Arsenal. They'll be through ahead of their game with Lens tonight. The PSV can go through tonight, but they need to turn that around completely and win, and then need an Arsenal win. Sevilla out of the Champions League if they lose tonight, so they're hanging on with the lead but a numerical disadvantage. But 10 minutes to go in this one, 12 minutes to go in that one in Seville, 10 minutes in the one that we're concentrating on tonight. Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3. We've had nearly 30 shots in the 80 minutes of play. It feels as though there's one coming every minute at the moment. Zaha away from McTominay's challenge. Little reverse ball through the penalty area. Almost found Acticolo, who's been troublesome since going on. United haven't been able to pick up his movement, and he's just taken up different pockets of space. Shaw can bring it forward, though, for Manchester United as they look to get their noses back in front again. Pellistri's control just gave Boe the opportunity to knock it away. Then helped fall through the midfield by Sergio Oliveira. Galatasaray break it forward towards Acticolo. He turned it infield for Boe's run, but United can deal with that threat, get it forward towards Mainu, who does really well to protect the ball from Acticolo and guide it back for Bruno Fernandes. It's breathless, hair and scare and stuff.
It is. It really is watchable, this one now.
Bruno sliding it forward. Pellistri needs support inside the penalty area. He's got Anthony in space, and he went for goal himself, but falling backwards just lifted it over the bar.
Do you know what he did, the hard bit there, Pelistri? He's come from out wide, he's danced all the way into the box. He's gone past Ahan, and then he's just at the last moment. He could have rolled it to McTominay towards the edge of the box, would have had plenty of room and a free shot. Took the shot himself and just leant back and skied it.
So more changes being made by Galatasaray. Angelino has come off. Ziyech is coming off as well, and United will be delighted to see that. Barış Alper Yilmaz is the man that is going to come on to replace him, and they're also going to be bringing on the Danish international defender Victor Nelson. That might see them go three at the back. We'll find out. Nelson often plays at centre half, but they might move Ihan forward into midfield to accommodate the arrival of Nelson. We'll see how they decide to play it, but Angelino off. Got 8 minutes to go, 3-3 to scoreline.
Yeah, and fair play to Hakim Ziyech. That's as well as I've seen him play for some time tonight. I thought just not only his goals, he used the ball very well. It was always a little bit of a problem for United tonight. He was just in that half position, not too wide but not too central, and no one able to really go and get him and tie him down, and he used the ball really effectively. He played well.
Sergio Oliveira trying to get on the throw from Badakcha. Goes out of play. Both sides claiming the throw should be theirs. It has been given to Manchester United, and Diogo Dalot's going to take it. 7 left. A draw isn't a footballing disaster with a capital D for Manchester United, but it gives them so much work to do. Well, it's a given that they're going to have to beat Bayern on Wednesday 6, but they'll also need favours from elsewhere if they can just nick this late on.
And they kind of just drifted, Jim, just a little bit, didn't they? At 3-1, again, they just drifted through the game a little bit rather than kind of taking the initiative. And it's not easy, and naturally you drop away and you drop off and you allow your opponent to have a little bit more space. Why wouldn't you? There's no need to go squeeze in and get done. So you just drop away and you try and stay compact, but you allow them to build up momentum.
Boe brings the ball forward. Zaha, he's going to be able to get there first. Past the tiring McTominay. He's got it edge of the penalty area. Little step over Zaha! And Onana saves it. Couldn't really work it sufficiently wide of him, and Onana was able to get down and collapse onto the ball and make the save, and it remains 3-3. Now it's Manchester United's turn in this basketball game to make their way forward. Dalot, Pelistri unmarked if he can get it across. The space for Bruno Fernandes. He lets fly and hits the post.
Wow. What a strike that is. It's so unlucky from Bruno Fernandes. Brilliant run from Diogo Dalot. Cuts the ball back. 24-25 yards out, right in the middle of the goal. Takes one touch just to kill it onto that right foot, and then whips it across Muslera's right. Hits the outside of the post. Very, very unlucky. Game literally at the other end, seconds before that. Zaha with a clever little step over, steps into the box, hits the shot, but Onana saves, and United straight down the other end and bang in the post. Isn't that sort of a game?
Why are they changing the format of this competition for next season?
Yeah.
When the current way that it's set up gives you games like this.
It does.
Matchday 6 can sometimes see some dead rubbers.
Yeah. Granted,
and we're going to see a few of those in a couple of weeks' time. Not in this group. Certainly not in the Milan, Newcastle, Dortmund, PSG group. And this one, 5 minutes to go, all to play for. 3-3. Maguire heading it away. United as close as they've been to scoring the 7th goal of the night. Now Zaha trying to do likewise at the other end, fires it way over the bar. But just another illustration of how frequently the chances are now arriving at either end. It is attack, attack, attack from both teams.
Yeah, wild shot there from Wilfried Zaha. Hasn't been involved enough tonight, I don't think. When he gets on the ball, look, he's always a threat. Always dangerous. I don't think he's played as well as I expected him to against United. I think in the main they've dealt with him pretty good.
Anthony sliding in, that's a foul on Acticolo. PSV have equalised. They were 2 down in Seville. They got it back to 2-2. It's a Cadelia own goal, and so Arsenal won't be going through before they've kicked the ball tonight. United try to push the ball forward, at least if it stays that way, of course. Torreira, the one-time Arsenal player, getting it forward here for Boe, the right back for Galatasaray. We've got 4 to go. It's 3-3 in a thriller. Is Yilmaz. He's played back for Sergio Oliveira, coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area, around the challenge, little reverse ball in, and Icardi just didn't read it. And it goes through to Onana.
I think Icardi realised he was offside there. It wasn't quite on at that point when Oliveira tried to thread the ball through him. Through for him. But it's literally swinging from one end to the other here. Both teams throwing punches, and he's just going to land one.
Manchester United get it forward. Martial created space coming in off the left flank, found Shaw to Pellistri comes away from the edge of the penalty area. Laid it back for Bruno Fernandes. He's going to try again as he knows a little flick round the corner. Big chance, Martial! Great covering challenge from Torreira. Then a right-footed shot comes in. That is blocked by Nelson. Comes out towards the edge of the area, and a right-footed curler from McTominay goes high and wide.
What a chance. I thought Anthony Martial there, having got in. Brilliant football from United. Bruno, Luke Shaw, they're all involved. They got Anthony Martial in as the man over. He just didn't get his shot away when he could have done. I think he was looking to maybe just go one more, stepping back inside, but he had a great chance there.
Will Saha's got this outstanding goal-scoring record against Manchester United. He can't extend it tonight. He comes off against his old club. Big ovation for him. He's scored 4 goals in his last 3 league games, and he's already a firm favourite amongst the Galatasaray supporters. But he's coming off here, and Kerem Demirbay, the former Leverkusen midfielder, German international, is going to come on to replace him. A reminder of what's happening at the conclusion of the game. On Talk Sport, Adrian Durham will be taking around the grounds, keeping you up to date with everything that's going on in the EFL tonight, all the goals as they happen, and from Arsenal against Lens, and live action from Ellen Road on Talk Sport 2. At the conclusion of this game, it'll be Leeds against Swansea. We've got a couple of minutes plus stoppage time to go. Live to you tonight on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Jim Proudfoot and Andy Townsend talking through the action from a 6-goal thriller. Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3 is the score. And United have possession in the left-back area. It's laid back to Lindelof. Take it out towards the left-hand touchline and play it forward. Pellistri's got 2 in gold and crimson around him and was fouled. Sandwiched between the pair of them. Free kick to United. Will be in the 90th minute when it's taken. Play forward, out comes Muslera, heads it away from McTominay's long run. I think Muslera's claiming McTominay caught him. I'm not sure there was too much evidence that was the case. He played forward by Galatasaray quickly. Sergio Oliveira down to the left-hand side for Acticolo. His ball in, away from Icardi, straight into Onana. Yeah, and we're in the final minute at 3-3.
That run well marshalled by Victor Lindelof. Acticolo is trying to find Icardi. Ball goes straight through to Onana.
Martial. Behind square for McTominay, options to his right-hand side. One of them is Anthony. Here's Dalot. Dalot inside the 6-yard box. Oh, he's taken a flick off Torreira. Hit Boe. It was past the Pellistri, and he can't walk it in. And Torreira ends up lying on his goalkeeper with the ball in the hands of Muslera. And the 2 Uruguayans look at each other and know they got away with one.
Wow. United have got 6 players in the box. The ball ends up getting cut back. And Torreira laying, facing the goal on the 6-yard box. He scoops it right into Pellistri's path, who takes a touch to get it out of his feet, and his shot is blocked when he's literally 5-6 yards out. Has to score.
Only 3 minutes of added time. Well played. That was Maynard. Drawing Andy's positive reaction. He's taking the ball out towards the left-hand touchline. What a time for a Champions League debut for Kobbie Mainoo, who hasn't looked out of place. You wouldn't expect him to after the rave reviews that he's been having and the brilliant full Premier League debut at the weekend. Anthony's got it now on the United right. He's played forward, but to stiffer pass for the run from Harry Maguire of all people, who's now got to turn and get back as quickly as he can into position. Muslera in no hurry to get the ball upfield. Galatasaray, as I'm sure you're aware, a point ahead of Manchester United in the group, so a draw's a better result for them than it is for United, particularly when you consider that United are at home to Bayern in a fortnight's time. Galatasaray go to Copenhagen. The ball is played back. Muslera's got to come outside his penalty area and fly kick it away, just clear of McTominay. It's Manchester United doing the pressing. Throw taken quickly. Anthony. Flick round the corner for Dalot. He's had a corner. Did he take a touch back off Dalot? It was Badache who was doing the defending. And I think Manchester United have got a corner with 90 seconds of stoppage time to go.
Well, when you get a corner this late in the day, you've got to make sure you beat that first man, you give people a chance. It's Bruno Fernandes with his right foot. It's going to be an outswinger.
This could be the best opportunity in from Bruno. And they'll head it away straight back to him. Bruno pulling it short this time. So much space for Mainu, edge of the penalty area. Right-footed, teased up towards the far post. Headed away before he got to Martial. United pick up the seconds again. Shaw, back the ball in from McTominay. He's headed it way wide.
Lucky. Decent ball in from Luke Shaw. Good leap from Scott McTominay. Just hanging in the air. Just got up a little too early. Couldn't direct the header towards the goal. But it's been some game this. It's been a great watch. It really has. United are going to ultimately feel disappointed having had a 2-goal lead going into the second, or in the second half. They're going to feel they've let this one slip away. But they've had some great chances as well.
30 seconds of stoppage time to go. Muslera clears it, right-footed, doesn't reach halfway. United get ahead on it, but it's not a particularly convincing touch, and they end up conceding a throw which is then scooped over the top by Sergio Oliveira, straight through towards Onana. Fortunately, he's not covered himself in glory tonight. The 2 Hakim Ziyech free kicks that beat him, he'll be disappointed with the pair of them, and probably Acticolo's equalising goal as well for 3-3, and the referee puts his whistle to his mouth. It's been a scintillating watch. The full-time whistle goes with the side sharing 6 goals, but this was a game that everybody felt Manchester United had to win. They're not out as things stand. They could be out of the Champions League by the end of the night, and having blown a 2-0 and 3-1 lead, they're yet again going to be getting on a plane and cursing the way that things went. Throwing away advantages has been an enduring feature of this Champions League campaign, and Manchester United know, realistically, they need a miracle to make it through from here. It's finished. Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3.